Hello, I'm Derrick, and welcome to Hindsight 101, where you're learning about things that will help you in everyday life. Now, I'm going to talk to you about the Meross garage door opener unit. This unit is a Wi-Fi unit that will let you open your garage door with your cell phone anywhere you're at that has a cell phone or wireless connection. Now, I do have two garage door openers. Ooh, this is kind of hard. Two garage door openers already that are Wi-Fi, and they're made by Chamberlain. So, of course, I didn't get to install it at my home, but I had a friend who was kind enough to let me install it at their house, and they tested it out for me and let me know how it was for them. Full disclosure, I was sent this unit in exchange for my review, but my opinions are my own, and I wasn't required to say anything nice or whatever. So, everyone's going to want to know ahead of time, how does this unit compare to a well-known brand like Chamberlain? Well, it works out really well. It has a lot of the same features. I really had no issues or anything like that. The only thing that you may run into is wireless. If you don't have a good wireless signal to your garage, it's not going to work. But that's with all the units, not just this one in particular. You need a good Wi-Fi signal. So if you don't have that, then that's going to cause you some trouble, and you're going to have to figure out how you can extend the wireless signal to your garage or make it better. The only issue that I really ran into with the actual unit was compatibility. Now, my first garage door opener that I tried it on, it didn't work. There's a compatibility list that I'm going to link below that you can check to make sure. But you're going to want to do a test they suggest where you take a piece of wire that they supply and you they call it shorting the garage door opener, where you plug it into the two lead wires that are coming from the actual button garage door opener that you have on your wall. And if you put those two wires in, then that should open the garage door. If it doesn't, it's not going to work. Because the problem I ran into was that it said garage door X did work, but in fine print, version 1 did, but there's version 2 and version 3 did not. So you can actually do this test before you even buy the unit. I've seen some people, if you don't have a piece of wire, is to use needle nose pliers, and they do that, depending on what kind of garage door opener model that you have. You can do that test, and if you just plug it in, short it, and if it works, you're good to go. This unit will work for you. So now I'm going to go through some of the features of the unit. If you don't want to see that and you just want to get to the install, check the notes below and you can skip ahead. Let's get started. So first off, you have device name. You can change the device name. Like if you have what I have, two garage door openers, then you're going to want to have garage door 1 or garage door 2, or in my case, I have my name and my wife's name. So and then when I'm going into the app, I know which one it is when I'm opening and closing it. After that, you have the LED on and off. So I'll show it to you later, but there's this little LED light that barely puts off any light whatsoever, but you can turn that off if you, I guess, want to save energy. I don't know. After that, you have history. So you can look up the history and see who's been opening and closing the garage door. I like this because I turn off the notifications because they get really annoying, but I still want to know what's happening sometimes throughout the day, or check something to see if it's happening, or just if you want to know if someone randomly opened your garage door at 1 in the morning, you can check on this. The good thing about this one that I've noticed is it'll let you know if you use the app or if you actually use just the regular wall-mounted unit to open the garage door. So it's kind of cool, so you know how often someone is using what. After that, you have the user manual. So don't really need it once you set it up, but say you have to reset it up for some reason, you need to go back to it, you have that instead of having to Google it, it's right there on the phone for you. And finally, you have voice commands. So this will work really well with Google Assistant or Amazon Alexa. I have both, but it's kind of overkill for me. I'm fine with the app, but if you're really interested to see how this works out, let me know below and I can do a review for you. But it walks you right through how to set it all up, so just follow the instructions and you shouldn't have a problem. So next, you have normal date and time zone. You also have location. The only reason they say you can turn location on is if you want to have that done automatically with the date and time, but that's totally up to you. The biggest part on here is the fact that it shows you wireless signal. The reason why that's important is, as I mentioned before, you have to have a strong signal. So if you have something like 25% and then your unit keeps going in and out every time you want to close it, sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't, it's probably your Wi-Fi connection. So you want to make sure you have a strong Wi-Fi signal to the garage or this unit is not going to work. Next, you have notifications. You have the open and close notifications, which you can turn on and off. Like I said before, if you have people that go in and out of your garage a lot, this gets really annoying. So I actually just turn them off. But if you just want to know or you don't have people going in and out, it's not a big deal, leave them on. But it'll just bring a drop down on your phone to let you know when it's open and closed all the time. Next after that, you can have a overtime reminder. Basically what this is a predetermined amount of time that you can set 15, 20, 30, whatever you want, to say if your garage door has been open this long, it'll send you a reminder to tell you to close it. So say you go to work and you forget to close it, it'll send you a reminder. All you do is just hit the app and then it'll close it for you and you don't have to drive back home, which I've done many times before I got this. Then after that, you actually have the overnight reminder. Somebody in the house, kids, left the garage door open. You can set it for 11 o'clock or midnight. And if your garage door is open at midnight, it'll send you a reminder to tell you you need to close it. So that's a good feature because I have people in my family that love to leave the garage door open. So finally, you have two options called routines and scenes. So basically what routines is if you have, say, you get home at 6 o'clock every day from work, then you can set a routine to say at 5:55, open the garage door, and then at 6:10, close it. So as long as you're consistent with your routine, you can set that up and you don't have to do anything. It's all automated for you. Now with scenes, they're going with the assumption that you have a lot of smart devices. Say you have the garage door opener, a light fixture, and maybe a smart plug where you can turn on a radio. So when you get home, it'll automatically open the garage door, turn on this light, and turn on the radio if that's what you want. So you can set those sequence of events so you don't have to do it. It'll all happen for you. And you can set that up in scenes, but you have to have other smart devices that will work with this app. Now, finally, it also has the account settings where you can share it and change your password and email and all that. But that's pretty standard. But really, that's about it. So let's get to the install.
Okay, let's start with what you get in the box. So first, on the right-hand side, you have the actual unit. It's actually an upgraded unit from before because everything's together, plus it comes with a USB plug instead of the standard plug that you normally get. After that, you get the actual USB plug. You get the sensor wire and the sensor connector. It's very long, so plenty. You have screws that you can screw in the sensors, or you can use tape. It's totally up to you. I prefer the tape, it's easier. And you can use it on the unit. So let's get started. You want to get started by downloading and selecting the Meross app. You want to allow notifications so you can get them when your garage door open or close. First, you're going to have to sign up for an account. Put in your email address and a password that you make up of your choosing, and then agree to the terms, and then press sign up. For protection, I blurred out the password. If you allow enable location, this just helps automatically set up the date and time. Let's install the unit. Now we're going to choose our device. As you can see, there are many devices to choose from that work with this app. We're going to do the smart garage door opener. If you click the compatibility link or did the test that I mentioned earlier, you don't have to do this part, but I'll show you anyways. Now you can select the manufacturer, if it was Craftsman or whatever, and then you can select the model. And if you found what you're looking for, you're good to go. Now you're going to want to set up the Wi-Fi connection, but first you have to plug it in. As I mentioned before, this is an upgraded unit. If you see the two wires on the end, you actually had to install those previously, but now they do it for you, which is awesome. Now you want to connect the sensor wire to the unit. There's only one way you can connect it because of that little lip inside. And there you go. Once the unit is plugged in, it should flash yellow and green. If it doesn't, it probably timed out. Unplug it and plug it back in. Next, the app will take you to your Wi-Fi settings. Select the Meross network. You'll see a notification saying you're connected. Click that notification and then wait for a few minutes. Now you can rename your garage door opener, but you also have the option to do it later in the settings. Now you're going to want to connect to your home Wi-Fi. Yes, my friend's Wi-Fi is connecting. It's a terrible joke. But you want to put in your password for your home Wi-Fi so it can sync up. There should be a solid green light once the unit connects to your home Wi-Fi. Now you're all set up. Let's get the unit installed. To get started, you're going to need a flathead screwdriver and a ladder. Now I actually didn't do this next step, but you can actually test the sensors to make sure it's communicating correctly with the app. You just put them together and pull them apart, and the app should identify that. In the app, if the little door opens and closes, then you're good to go. Here's one way to mount the sensor. You put it on top of the pulley track of the garage door opener. Unfortunately, I couldn't do it this way, and you'll see why next. Unfortunately, my friend's garage door opener didn't have enough clearance between the pulley track and the ceiling, so we're going to have to do it another way. But still, it's not too bad. As you can see here, I ran the cable along the ceiling in parallel with the garage door opener track, down the wall, and then I had to install a piece of wood to put the sensor on so everything could line up correctly. The other part of the sensor is magnetic, so I just put it on the garage door itself. You have to have less than 1 inch of space between the two sensors. Make sure to unplug the unit before performing this next step. Next, you want to connect the unit to your garage door unit. You need to take out the wires that go to your wall unit for the garage door opener. You just push on those buttons and take them out. Some may have a screw that you just have to unscrew and then take the wires out, depending on what model you have. Now you just want to take the brown and blue wires and connect them. It doesn't matter the combination, just as long as you connect them one for each of the wires. Needle nose pliers probably would have helped a lot better at this point. Once it's all plugged in, we can move on to the next step. The next step here is to secure the unit to the garage door opener. You're just going to use double-sided tape and stick it to a flat surface on top of the garage door opener or wherever space permits. Make sure wherever you put the tape, it's clean and clear of debris. Once secured, go ahead and plug in the unit and also plug the garage door unit back in. So here's the moment of truth. In the app, select the garage door icon. That should open the garage door. And there you go. You have a Wi-Fi garage door unit now. If this video was helpful, like and subscribe. And if you have any questions, comment down below. Thank you. Take care.